right?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Is there like an intro song?
That's the intro song.
Okay.
Hey, hey. That's why my voice is so hoarse, because I sing like this every episode.
It's called Hey Hey instead of How Come.
Yeah.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. It is lovely to be with you this afternoon or morning or middle of the night, wherever you're listening and whenever. Today's topic, it has to do with sex and wellness because a lot of our sex and wellness has been affected by it, but you might not think that. It's something that we all do every day, and a lot of documentaries recently have come out exposing the dark world of what it is, and it's social media. Woohoo! Boo-hoo.
Who knows?
Charlotte's here as always. Charlotte has studied psychology extensively. That was your major, right, Charlotte?
Oh, wow. Sure was.
You kind of know all about the pros and the cons of social from a brain perspective.
Sure.
And we're also going to be talking to some experts. Kirill of the Slut Whisperer Instagram page is here.
Hello.
And then
Thank you.
she's a comedian. She's my friend. She's a self-proclaimed thought and an Instagram hoe. Give it up for the wonderful Jax Dell'Osso.
First of all, it's satire, Remy.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
What is the thought?
That hoe over there.
Yeah.
That's what it stands for?
Yeah.
That hoe over there.
I am over here, so
Oh.
Yes.
it all adds up.
That hoe over there. I don't know why I thought it. Wow.
You learn something new every day.
Yes.
I don't know what I thought it meant, but I didn't think it meant that.
I'm so surprised that we know something in like pop culture that you don't.
I don't know
'cause you're
much about pop
so
culture.
key-
I'm
What,
so out of the
really?
loop. Oh, yeah.
Well, we just saw American Meme, which you starred in, amongst other
Yes,
people.
amongst others.
The Fat Jew and Paris Hilton and Brittany
Furlong?
Yeah. And it was basically all about social media and how dark and twisty it can get.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
like the key word, and what I think super interesting is basically how many times have you heard of like the negative effects of social media? Your self-esteem goes in the shitter.
Yeah.
You know, depression skyrockets. But there are some like super interesting articles about how social media in and of itself isn't either negative or positive. It's really how you
How
use
you
it.
use
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this episode's going to be how can you use it better and stop being so fucking depressed?
Yeah.
Yeah, just stop lying, right? Like,
That's
everyone just lies on social media. That's like you lying in your own journal. Like, you're just lying to yourself, right? So, like, that's all social media. Obviously, when you go to someone's house and they have photos of their family, they're not putting up sad photos. So they're putting up the happy moments, which is understandable. And I guess that's kind of what social media is. But we're on it so much that we do just lie. Like, everyone's just, and then when someone does get real, you're just like, oh. You know, like when someone's like, oh, like my cat died and blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, oh, why are you putting this on social media?
You've been reading Remy's
as
Facebook
much-
page?
I mean, me and Jax are the queens
Yeah.
of subtweets, mental breakdawns,
Totally.
Yeah.
Instagram stories, crying.
sometimes
But-
people love
Oh,
that.
that's all you, bitch. I've never cried in an Instagram story.
like we all you all fabricate this life on social media usually. Like, look how much fun I'm having on vacation. Look how much. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, it's who you look at too, because if it's your good friend or someone who has a similar day to day as you, people tend to like those accounts more and
Right.
feel better about themselves when they see those versus someone who is just showing like yachts and all that
Right.
that kind of lifestyle where they're not able to relate. Their self-esteem goes in the toilet. So basically, if you follow other people, your self-esteem is going to be pretty shitty usually, just scrolling and spending all your time that way. But if you look at your own stuff, your self-esteem goes up. Like, I don't really scroll much.
Yeah.
I just post my own stuff and dip.
See, I'm the most unhealthy person on social media. And besides people who are verifiably like, Jax too. Jax and I are in a group called Thought Bots. Okay, I'm gonna. I'm gonna expose us.
Okay. No, good, because this is a good thing.
This is a good thing,
Yes,
so
yes,
that
yes.
you people know.
Yes.
You know
Thought
how
box.
people, they'll post a photo and suddenly they've got so many comments and you're like, oh, she's so well liked. And like, oh, I wish I was well liked. Well, guess what? It's fucking fake.
Well, it's half fake, and it's the ones that
fake.
comment on every comment to inflate that number too.
Yes.
It's like
We
someone will write like, "Oh my God, so beautiful," and you're like, "Oh my God, thanks, miss you so much." It's like, cool, now that's 2 comments.
Exactly.
Right. It's engagement, but I created the group on Instagram because I wanted my friends and people, like accounts who I'm looking at, and I'm like, this account should have more of a following. Why does it not? And of course, all the algorithms make it so now your posts aren't being delivered.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it's just a thing. So what I did is I just put all those accounts in a little group chat, and I'm like, okay, when you post a picture, let us know first, and then as soon as it posts, boom, 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 you got 10 comments. That's engagement. They're going to boost your post now to the top of the feed.
Yeah,
course.
you get me, I get you. I didn't know that was happening. I thought that there was just people, like I used to stalk my boyfriend's ex and be like, oh my God, she's got so many amazing friends. Like, no, they're the same people every time. She's probably in a similar group.
Yeah, but I'm
There's a lot of
also like, I've been in like situations with a bunch of girlfriends, and one of them will post a photo, and then she'll be like, "All right, guys, can you all go like it now?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, I really want, like, I just want to strangle you. Like,
Yeah.
stop. That's
Yeah.
social media rape.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
I'll like it when I want
Do
to.
you know what happened? I don't know if I ever talked about this. We went to this sex party for one of the episodes, and the worst thing a person did to me at the end of the night was like, "Give me your phone. I'm going to make you follow me on social media." And
What?
then he,
Very invasive.
very
It
invasive.
is.
Very. How dare?
That
Slap
is
my butt,
very
but don't
Me
get into my
Too-y.
Instagram.
Right? Like
That's
if you
too
don't have
personal.
that boundary,
I don't like that.
I wouldn't want to be in a room alone with that guy
No.
and a bunch of ketamine. I feel like it'd be
What goes on at sex parties?
There was no ketamine at our
It was
sex
very
party.
chill.
Mm-mm.
A little bit
Just
of
like
weed.
wine and weed. Yeah.
I can't do, like, I would never be able to fuck in public.
I love it.
But
I love
what
it.
you do is like, so can you explain to anybody who doesn't follow the Slut Whisperer on Instagram what your account is?
Who is the slut
So
whisperer?
who is?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like an onion, right? No, I'm
like a
kidding.
bloomin' onion?
Okay,
Like a
Shrek.
bloomin' onion.
House?
The social media side is an extension of what I think at that moment, or what I think is funny at the moment, or if I find something that's funny or is sent to me. That's all it is. But it also is in line with my mood, and that's it. That's really all it is. Yes, there's a lot of tits and ass because that's what my physical job entails. So there's a lot of content from that world.
Yeah.
Where I throw parties and people get half naked and champagne everywhere. So there's that element, and then there's what I would hope sometimes is some thought-provoking stuff. There's, the occasional fart joke, dick joke, and everything else. But there are some stuff where it's just like trying to expose some shit that not as important to me, but that I feel like talking about through really shitty memes.
When I first found out about you and then found out that you guys were friends, I was a little shocked because I was like, Slut Whisperer, he does champagne facials on tits and asses, and Jax is a very feminist person, and you've gotten a lot
Yeah,
of
but so am
flack
I.
for being a misogynist, though.
Yeah, but no one's being forced to do anything they don't want to do, and they're buying
Yeah.
a ticket.
I'm sure. We were
yeah.
just talking about that. We were saying
If these women want to do, if that's their idea of a good time, they're seeking you out. They're
Right.
coming out because that's what they want to do.
You're buying a ticket.
no,
Who are we to
self-proclaimed
say
feminist can say that's not
that's
how to be
not-
a woman.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
but
because
that's
the
it.
other there's
Yeah.
the other side of they don't like to say feminism because the real feminists, the level-headed feminists, don't like being associated with the radical ones,
Right.
Where it's kind of like they judge the girls worse, where they're
Yeah.
just like they need to save them from themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, and that's where you run into that argument where women like to say that, every commercial you've ever seen, we're smarter than men, we're more intelligent than men, we have more common sense. So it's like, then why would you then go at the same time be like, oh, but they're also helpless and we need to save them from their own thoughts and actions.
Right. Thoughts.
Thoughts.
Yeah, it's really weird, like the dynamic of your parties, because I would assume it was different. Like if it was my first time going to one, I would think that from the way people paint you, that you're this like like this troll who's just going around just being like, open wide, bitch, like
Open that butthole.
yeah, gaping wide, bitch. No, it's so funny. Like he'll just be standing there and he gets rushed by groups of women, and they're like, oh my God, Kirill, please, can I get a facial later, please,
Right.
please? And it's like, get in line, and that's to them fun. Like, that is their big night out. They waited for this. Like, they are excited for this. And they love him. Like, it's just... I don't know,
actually,
it's weird,
there's
dude.
this funny thing that I retweeted the other day. Stephanie Hamill works at Fox News, and she said, in the era of Me Too, how exactly does this empower women? At Cardi B, and tag this video at Cardi B of all these women shaking their asses.
Dude, if I want to
wait
myself,
Cardi B says it says to women that I can wear and not wear whatever I want, do whatever I want, and that no still means no. So Stephanie, chime in. If I twerk and be half naked, does that mean I deserve to get raped and molested? I want to know what a conservative woman like you thinks.
Cardi B.
I love
nice.
her.
Slap back.
Oh my God. That's exactly right. Like, if you want to go be a hoe, if you
Be a
want to
hoe.
get a champagne enema on stage, you do that, girl.
Yeah, and
Is
then-
that what? Have you done champagne enemas?
I've poured champagne in her butthole.
In a
Inside.
butthole.
Right in a BH.
Was it a pour or a shoot?
Was she upside
Twice.
down? How was the gravity
There's
situation?
one where she didn't poop.
She did poop,
She
but
didn't
just
poop.
maybe
We've
not
poured
at
it
that
into
moment.
a butthole. We have.
Poured it into a butthole.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Have you opened hole and stuck bottle?
I have not.
Bottle
a
into
girl
butthole.
did it to her friend
Wow.
in Long Island about 4 years ago.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
yeah,
They sound close. That's so sweet.
that's a very intimate moment.
But where's the line between Kirill and where's the slut whisperer?
Yeah, there's a line in American Meme where I think you said, like, you're like, yeah, I'm not actually this guy, but like you're doing all the actions of this guy.
Yeah, it's the same way that Andrew Dice Clay isn't Andrew Dice Clay, but
Yeah.
he's Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still in there. Lisa Lampanelli's Lisa Lampanelli, but not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm there,
Yeah.
but it's a character. It's an exaggerated,
Yeah.
concentrated version of me. Like,
Right.
you're getting what you're paying for. It's like a comedian, right? Like,
100%.
you guys are 100%,
Yeah.
hopefully honest on stage, but it is an exaggerated act.
What's interesting is I've noticed most comedians are pretty bad at social media.
Yeah, they are.
Like the most well-known ones that we know, like, are very easy to access on social media because they have no follower. Like,
Yeah.
that's not how they got famous. They got famous doing clubs and getting spot. It's like,
Yeah, and then
It's a
there's
real
the few
skill.
stars
Yeah.
that do it, like Dane
Yeah.
Cook being one of the first.
you
to,
love Dane Cook.
I have no issue with Dane.
No, we used to love Dane
No, no,
Cook.
no.
I used to
have-
love him
Great.
too.
Armchair
Yeah.
Swallowed was our shit. I used
Yeah.
to listen to
Great.
it on like my
He's a
iPod.
great
Naughty,
comic.
naughty Kool-Aid.
Oh no,
Never.
Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Get back in the fiery water.
It's amazing.
But
Guys.
but he got a lot of shit for it, right? Because he skipped X amount of steps to stardom.
Is that how he got famous? Was
MySpace.
social?
MySpace. He was
Oh
like-
yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot
Yeah.
about
and
that.
every comic that wasn't his boy was like, "Yo, you skipped the following steps in the comedy world that
Yeah.
you need to hit."
Yeah.
Like, you went from being just a guy in a club to a guy selling out MSG.
He had haters.
Right.
And there's
Yeah.
like people who are like, "Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that." Comics are very protective of
See,
the
that's
craft.
interesting to me, though, because we never knew that. We just thought of, here's this guy with this awesome quotable material.
Yeah.
And we genuinely liked it. So I think that's the proof in the pudding is once you get into the room, can you
Deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of comedians also resent the fact that, like, going like, I have this jokes just as good as him. I'm just as good as him at MSG. Why didn't I think of that or get that opportunity or,
Yeah.
And, oh, look at this young kid. Oh, and he's hot. And,
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
not
all the
haters.
shit. Like, he's an easy person to hate.
Yeah.
Very
How
easy
do
person
you?
to
How
hate.
does one? Because I suck at social, and it literally plagues me. Like I'm always like I'm not getting enough likes
I
or
don't
whatever.
think you
like,
suck though.
you don't think I suck?
I don't think you suck. I think there are things that you can do differently to get more of a result, but I don't think you suck at it. I think you're pretty good at it.
How did you guys get so like? Especially you, like you blew the fuck up.
I had
start?
so 2009 is when everything kind of started. I left college to work at Caroline's. I wanted to be a Disney animator. Hated every minute of animation. Knew graphic design. Somehow through a friend who ran comedy shows, I had a video camera and I was like, I'll come record the shows. Like, I just want to get in somehow because I'm obsessed with stand up. And I just filmed the shows, and this was, the era of like Patrice,
Yeah.
Bobby Kelly, all those the Cellar kids from like 2000
Cellar
fucking
kids.
4. So I just filmed all these guys and made as many connections, and then got into Caroline's. They needed a graphic designer. Then went to like comics when that opened, and then I got sucked into nightlife because I met this kid who was a DJ, and he was like, "Look, we were both piss broke. I was like, I can feed you at the comedy club because they don't pay me shit, so I can do whatever I want here. So I fed him, and then at night we'd go out drinking while he was DJing. And then I had a camera, and I was like, all right, well, there's nothing for me to do at this nightclub. I guess I'll just take photos for fun.
Yeah.
And I took a bunch of photos, and everyone started asking me where they're going to be. So I was like, all right, I guess I got to do something.
Got to make a
This will be my new
website.
project.
Yeah.
And thought of 1,000 names, settled on Kirill Was Here, built out a site, and I was like, at night,
I remember that because
this is going to be
I was
Batman.
clubbing then. I
Yeah.
grew up here. Like
Yeah.
it was like a thing.
Yeah.
And this was before, right when Twitter was just starting, and that was the only social media besides Facebook. So all my photos in New York nightlife scene, everyone used mine as the profile photo because I had my little watermark. Everyone that went out, somehow they had a Kirill Was Here
I remember
picture
those.
everywhere.
It's kind of like a tag of like I party. I'm at a certain
and-
level.
exactly.
in
And
social
then at this time, I
status.
had my site, and the site was cranking. Like it was doing close to like 100,000 views a day. So when you have that kind of attention on you, you can transition into Twitter. Once Twitter came out, I was like, oh, here's my Twitter, and blah 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 blah. So I would go on tour with DJs because now DJs were like, okay, he's made a name for himself. I want Kirill to document my tour. Most DJs pay dog shit because they just don't want to pay you. Like guy like Tiesto, who's making hundreds of $1,000s a night, I might have walked away making like $200.
Seriously?
But that's how much they pay.
Tiesto,
But that was my fault. But I was like, cool, you're not going to pay me more. I'm going to get something else out of you. I want, if we're going to do this tour, I want one tweet up top that says, can't wait to bring Kirill on tour. 2 tweets throughout the tour
Smart.
and one at the end.
Wow. Yeah.
And then you get co-signed. Because I'd rather, like, if someone's like, if he was like, I'll pay you $1,000, but no shout out, I'd be like, I'll take the 200. Give me the
Exactly.
cosign.
Yeah.
And then that
That's
grew.
what
Then
a lot
other
of this
people.
shit is too. Is like
Yes.
you don't realize
You
like
have
a
to,
lot
like,
of people
sacrifice.
aren't making a ton of money. Like they're just trying to get popular first, like an app. Like
Yeah.
Twitter didn't worry about how to make money from the beginning. They
Yeah.
just wanted to be popular.
Yes.
Look, it's like that $1,000 he could have paid me would have changed my life then for a week.
Right.
Like like what am I gonna? $1,000 isn't gonna get you anywhere. But having him co-sign you now, it's his entire Rolodex sees that, and you don't know what opportunities will come from there. And they did.
Yeah.
And then you made
I did Instagram.
Nas photos.
Yeah. So I was on it. So I've had like 12, 20 Instagram accounts at this point, but.
Because all of the canceling you.
I'd just been deleting and deleting and deleting. And after a while, I kind of, the loyal followers I had from the site through Twitter to Instagram, they would just repopulate every time I would. So anytime I started a new Instagram, I would go in the bat with 30,000 probably followers instantly because they would be like, oh, Kirill's got a new Instagram. Let's all go.
Yeah.
So it was easy to get the foundation because I had the years of building them on other
Yeah,
platforms. And then after that, it kind of snowballed. And this was during like what I like to call like the meme arms race, where it was like
Yeah,
Fat
I
Jew and
remember.
Fuck Jerry just all day fighting
Yeah.
for
Totally.
who's number one. Before there was like 7,000 quote unquote meme accounts. It was Fat Jew and Fuck Jerry. And I would have like my dumb tweets I would throw up on there. And luckily, and it was sheer coincidence, like Fat Jew and Josh and I are pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And we were kind of really much closer back then. He would constantly repost me, anything I would do. So he kind of really beefed me up. And after that, it's just like snowball effect, right? Like anything you do, more and more people are going to
Yeah.
come into.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
It's like you have to be there for the team. I think that's my problem is I'm not willing to give other people that much support until like our group.
Yes. Yes, but I like your growth, Remy. You've grown.
I've
you went from
grown.
like, no, I will not like your post, bitch, to like, I'll like it, but do not make an enemy out of me.
I literally said that to
Literally
someone.
Did you really?
I was, yeah. I'm
Is
so
there drama?
bad.
What's the social
Oh my
media
god,
drama?
yes, there is.
Do you have like a certain amount of likes you can give out in a day?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, oh,
I
yeah, there
rarely
are.
like
There
shit.
are.
No, see, my
I'll
thing
give a
was in the
few out.
beginning,
I
I just
do.
wanted to be genuine. I wanted everybody to get what they actually deserved on
Right.
the post. And I
a
really,
meritocracy.
I wanted it to be like stand up that like if you go out and you're funny, people laugh. That's the thing.
If not, you should bomb.
I got really resentful of people putting up the same fucking photos and getting beauty, gorgeous, whatever, just because they were in this thing. You know, like I always think that there should be an app where it's a 24-hour cycle.
Yeah.
You post whatever you want to fucking post, but nobody sees who the post is. They just like whatever it is. And then at the end of the day, then you can see whose it was, because then there's no bias. It's not like, ugh, Jax is making that joke. It's just on the merit.
That's actually a cool idea.
Yeah.
You should do that. You should make that an app.
Maybe I should.
How many
Everyone
people do you
listening,
follow
you didn't
that
hear
you
that.
genuinely dislike and you just watch to see their demise?
My thing is,
Or
my
in most
my
cases, they do
Instagram
better.
knows I get more, I guess, pleasure or feed from looking at people I don't like versus people I do.
Yeah.
I spend probably 5 minutes a day looking at other people's posts, and I spend 90% of my day strategizing my own posts.
And then do you think about your posts all day long?
No, I don't. I put it out of my head. Like, I think just working in social media for so long, because that's what I used to do. I used to manage company social media. So I look at it from such an analytic standpoint that, like, I have no joy or really feelings whatsoever towards social
So you have like
media.
a pretty healthy
That's a
relationship.
healthy
with it.
relationship.
It's a
You
business
just throw it out
relationship.
there.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then where do your breakdowns come out? Because
No,
you
my
do the
breakdowns-
way I do Instagram crying, you do Facebook.
I do Facebook, but because my Facebook has no people I don't know on it.
Wait,
Like,
what are these breakdowns?
these
just
are-
like emotional
Jax
breakdowns?
will be like-
you're not on Facebook anymore, so you don't see
no,
them.
I don't. I never.
I do. I really Facebook like a suburban mom who has no friends, because sometimes I feel lonely, and sometimes like
Yeah, but Facebook's an appropriate outlet for that.
Yes, Facebook is like my personal friends and like my colleagues. Granted, maybe there are some people I wouldn't want to see my actual personal thoughts, but like I'm honest on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Like these are the things I really am feeling, and
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people go through the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of the things I complain about, a lot of us are going through the same garbage every fucking day. So it's like,
Yeah.
maybe now some people won't feel as alone or feel more open to talking about certain things.
I mean,
you know?
I definitely get more of a response when I'm having a bad day than when I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, new episode. This is really an exciting thing
Yes.
for
Yeah,
because
me.
we
or
can
whatever.
relate to your shitty day.
Right.
Totally.
Because most
Right.
people go, "Oh, she's promoting something,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is what we all do.
Oh, I get excited. I'm like, oh, look, they're doing something.
Yeah.
But it even feels
That's good
better. It
attitude,
feels
though.
better to the poster to say something honest, and it resonates more with the viewers. And that's what we were talking about before. It's like Instagram is kind of changing now. Remember when you were saying, it used to be all curated, everyone's living their best lives, but
Yeah.
now they're saying, this is the real post. Social media, like you see influencers,
Well, I think
my
they're
day to day
just
isn't great. It's not.
I just think
that's
now
another
they're
scheme.
trying to.
I think that's
yeah.
the other scheme. Let
Yeah.
me go fake genuine.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
me. Look at me.
It
I
flipped.
also have
Have
tiger
cellulite.
stripes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, and then it's a bigger circle jerk they realized, instead of being, oh my God, gorgeous, to, oh my
Oh
God,
my
you're
God.
so brave and powerful.
Exactly.
It went from
Yeah,
beauty,
yeah.
now like, look, they're complimenting my soul, like my whole being.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure a lot of them are genuine, and I'm glad that they are dispelling some of the beauty rumors. But there has to be, anytime we're all guilty of it, to be like, oh, let me put up my raw self, because you know that everyone's gonna jerk you off.
Yeah, somebody said that they found more comfort from followers than from actual friends. when they're-
Yeah,
It's weird.
Well, it depends. I mean, obviously, like the internet, like we were saying, can be great, especially for marginalized groups, like people.
LGBT
people,
people,
young
people
kids who
who've
are
got
trans, people who have STDs and aren't comfortable talking about it. Like,
Do you think it's for the amount of community those people have, there's so much hate that it's hard to ignore too, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like I don't miss Twitter. Like if you ask, like I miss being able to use it and put my thoughts down or whatever. But I really don't miss Twitter, because it was literally just like trolling almost became like a cool thing now, and you don't know how it's going to affect someone, right?
Right.
for sure.
So do you think you got more into it because you were like, oh, this is working, like the nightlife stuff, this is working from a social media perspective, or like you were like, oh, this is fun for fucking.
I thought, and I still think of it. So there was a moment in my career when I was taking party photos, and it was fun. It was me going around capturing these raw moments, because what I experienced from nightlife photography and why I set out to like, okay, let's build this site, is 2 dudes standing at a table holding their bottle of vodka, 3 girls posing, blah, 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 and that's it. And I was like, but this isn't your night. Your night's way more raw than that. So I set out to kind of be the guy that's like a fly in the wall. I'm going to come in, shoot some photos. Whether you're passed out, you're having the time of your life, you're doing below in the corner. Like, it was raw. And that's what appealed to me, because it was really good people watching.
and aspirational
And then-
too.
I don't know if it was aspirational. I thought it was more...
So real.
I thought it was
It's so
human,
fun.
and it was
fun.
real,
It's
and
like-
it was kind of human. Like
Yeah.
we're all like, I'd have photos where it's like John Legend and Chrissy Teigen at a table, and there's another group of like just dumb 21-year-olds, and you're like, we're all in the same place. It's
Yeah.
very like
Yeah.
And when you get drunk, these celebrities become more human.
It's almost
because
like democratic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very democratic. And so I remember the exact moment chick took her tits out and I took the photo. And I sat there for 2 days on these photos and I was like, what am I going to do with them? Like, I don't know if I want my site to go in that direction.
Yeah.
Because before it was just people having fun. And then I was like, you know what? My job is, I'll just make this the rule, to tell the truth. And this happened. And I'm just posting it. And then after that, it was kind of fell into that 15 seconds of fame or 15 minutes of fame. Girls would just start running up and being like, I want to show you my tits, because all of a sudden it's 100,000 eyes on my page looking at it.
It's more clout for them,
Yeah.
social media wise.
And it was just like, and that's where it kind of like developed into this more hypersexualized brand. But to me, it was still about documenting everything, because I still love doing corporate work. I still loved going to like shooting celeb birthday parties, but then I also liked stepping into a New York City nightclub and being like, yo, this is what it was like. It was just raw.
Def.
But nowadays, it's, back then no one sat on their phones. Now everyone's just, everyone wants to post something on their story about how much fun they're having, then they put their phone away and then just stand there like losers.
Totally.
And because nightclubs are exclusive and they
Yeah.
only like to let in a certain type of people, and you put too many of the same person in a room,
Yeah.
it's not exactly interesting.
So boring.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at
You
the
want a
same
table
time-
of thugs. You want a table of gay guys. You want a table of like Asians. You want a table of just white girls. So then they all come together. Everyone's having a fun time, and
Everybody
no one
fucks.
is the same. Yeah, and everybody fucks, and you get fucking intelligent, gorgeous people.
Exactly.
Because
the best people.
look at Jews. We are not the prettiest to look at because
we're inbred.
Because we're fucking inbred.
Wow.
Are you guys like really Jews though?
I mean, yeah, we're
I cling-
fully Jewish, but we're not like
Fully
religious.
Jewish.
Like how Jewish?
Reformed.
I don't know. See, like I've never been bar mitzvahed.
Okay, so we
had
were
bar
bat
mitzvah.
mitzvahed. Yeah.
No, my parents were really Jewish. They didn't want to spend the money. Yeah, we're from like Russia, where religion was kind of like not looked good upon, and
Yeah.
especially being
Yeah.
a Jew.
Were you like an early immigrant?
I was 6 years old, so
Okay.
like I never had an accent. It
Okay.
was just like I had the weird name, and they were like,
Okay.
"That kid's weird." That's it.
Yeah.
And I like, I felt outcast because my parents were not Americanized. So like as a young boy in America, I didn't have sports,
Right.
because my dad never grew up watching NBA basketball, whatever it is.
He was
And
not
your dad
Jewish.
didn't speak English, right? When you
They
first
didn't.
came.
So they learned it all, and they had to go to work. So there was no like playing catch with my dad in the backyard, or my dad didn't grow up in the culture of let's go to a Yankees game. So I was completely left out of the group of dudes who knew everything about sports or had any sort of sports. No, because I didn't know. I didn't have music because all we had was Russian music. So what am I going to fucking chime in? So it's like I was kind of like I kind of had to find like my own little group of weirdos, and the one thing that I fell in love with in that moment was stand up.
Right.
Yeah, because to me they were like modern day philosophers. Yeah, that's it.
Very high.
Very
Very
high.
high.
Very high. Can we order Outback Steakhouse?
Oh yeah, we
I
should.
had just Outback Steakhouse on Postmates.
Yeah, we're
5
definitely
days ago.
going to order so much Outback Steakhouse and eat it on Charlotte's bed.
Man, you're obsessed with my bed.
I'm obsessed with her bed. I just had the best sleep of my life before we recorded this podcast. Literally, my first
She slept over and fell asleep so quickly. I was so alone.
non-nightmare night sleep in the longest time. My first non-sweaty night sleep. I don't think I moved. Was I like the best
You were
sleeping partner in the world?
A rock.
A rock.
Yeah.
And growing up, we never liked sleeping together. So I wanted to give all the credit to the mattress. It is the best mattress in the world.
It's a Helix.
It's
It's
a
amazing.
Helix. Yeah. And Charlotte, how long have you had it?
Probably like 2 years now.
Yeah, and like this was the first time that I actually like cozied on down and like just fell asleep and died. And I was like, we should partner with them because they're amazing. So now we have a promo code for you guys. You can go to helixsleep.com/howcome, CUM, spelled the way we do it. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you with a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. So literally, you take this quiz, and it tells you what your perfect mattress is based on your body type and sleep preferences. So I had to put in like 5'2" and like fluctuates between. But
Lights out back.
yeah. And then like they even make mattresses for couples. So like they were like, who is this mattress for? And I was like, me. And but it was like Remy and someone else. So I was like, yeah, Ben. So you put in like his height and his weight and all that stuff.
And like if you get sweaty or not when you sleep.
yeah.
Like these cool shit. It's not just if you like firm or soft, but it's also like how sweaty do you get? Or
and
cold?
I get really. I've gotten my mattress sucks ass. I'm so excited to get my Helix.
I know.
This is so crazy. But yeah, so they have a 10-year warranty, and you can try your mattress for 100 nights risk-free, which is amazing. And then they'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it. I don't know if you've ever watched a Helix unboxing video, but that is oddly satisfying for my OCD.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like whatever it is that I like. I like those videos that are like, if you
I was
hide.
going to say the ASMR, but
Yeah,
visual. I don't know.
yeah, like because it's not like a mattress that is delivered normally. It like comes up really rolled up and like scrunched, and then you unroll it and it like rises like a little cinnamon roll.
It's so sick.
It's so sick. So right now, Helix is offering up to $125 off of all mattress orders, and if you want to get that, go to helixsleep.com/howcome.
Yeah.
Again, that's helixsleep.com/howcome for up to $125 off your mattress order. And then write to me and tell me how much you love it, because I know that you will.
I know. Everyone who comes... Never mind. That just sounds like I have a lot of people in my bed. I was going to say, everyone who comes into my bed comments on my mattress.
Yeah.
Anyone who has, whatever.
Friend sleepovers.
Whatever. I have friends sleep over all the time. We do laugh.
Okay. Anyway.
So good.
Kirill. I have a question for you.
Let's
okay,
go.
so your parents were very Russian. Does that mean that they were open or closed about sex?
So very open when it came up.
Okay.
It never came up. My dad gave me condoms when I went to study at Parsons for a summer class. I was 16.
Old, though. What about wanking? What about...
No, they don't talk about it.
None of it. When
of
did
that.
you start wanking?
I jerked off for the first time. I think I was 13 or 14. I did it in their shower because I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was fine.
But you had an idea that something was going to happen.
And this was
You set it up sexy. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to use the big shower.
I'm going to use mom and dad's shower. No, because we had the tub. They had the nice stand-up full tile. My dad
Guys love
with a
wanking
bench,
in the
which you're like,
shower.
I know they fucked on that bench.
Oh, yeah.
Because
then they don't have to
they're not
clean
old enough to
themselves.
sit. No one sits in the shower. It's disgusting.
It is.
That
is
cold
cold.
tile. That cold tile seat is for fucking.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
feel like you're at a
That's
water
it.
park. It's disgusting.
But there's nothing like killing the mood on one of those seats.
So you romanced yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I just jerked off in the shower, and I was like, okay, that's not that bad. And
Did
then
you
I guess
know
it just-
about it
That's what I'm
before?
saying.
I
How'd
don't
you
know.
know?
I don't remember. I've killed a lot of my brain cells and a lot of my memories, but I don't really know what my thinking was. But I know that I enjoyed it, and I did it all the time. Now, I don't remember how soon I switched out of the shower into
The boudoir.
a bed or a couch scenario.
Yeah.
But don't forget, it was strictly imagination, small amount of
Memory.
not even memory, just any way input,
Like
because there was nothing
external
on
stimulation.
TV.
There's not
Exactly.
porn.
There was no
There's no porn.
there was internet, but it wasn't even a thing.
How old are you again?
I'm 34. So if I'm jerking off at 14, let's just say 13, 14, we had a Gateway 2000 computer that there was no internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All we had was Solitaire and Oregon Trail.
Great game.
So the first thing I used to jerk
dysentery.
I used to jerk off to
Weird
a tape
fetishes.
from Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, which is a great movie.
What?
You've never seen it? The Wayans Brothers?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your
No,
juice in
and
the
I
hood.
love the
There's a
Wayans
scene
Brothers.
in it where they're having sex, and she's just a hot black chick with big titties in a bra, and I would just jerk off to that.
Nice.
Fact. And then the Fiona Apple Criminal.
Criminal.
Yeah.
That was the
So good.
original American Apparel ad. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is this, the smuttiest thing ever.
See, I used to download shit on Kazaa, and I would
Oh, yeah.
download Warrant's Cherry Pie, and I thought that was
So
the
hot.
fucking
So
hottest
hot.
video ever.
Yeah, for sure.
So when was the first time you had sex?
I have a high school girlfriend. It was in my parents' basement. She was a little husky, little ginger girl. Why is that?
think
Why is that sad? Because she's ginger.
No, I'm
and
saying
husky.
this is so cute.
Oh, it's cute.
No,
Yeah.
just
A husky.
Your first
No, it was
time.
like the
And
hottest
I'm
girl
also
one.
thinking about the first woman you masturbated to versus this. You have a really wide range of women that you're into.
yeah. Well, when
It's
you get rid
nice.
of standards and you're just the world is your oyster, right? You could just
No, but I love knowing a guy has fucked a lot of women who don't look like me.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, if he's like, I have an ex who literally all of us look
Just
identical,
identical.
and
Is it
then
type?
you're just
Oh, that's like a
comparing
serial
yourself. You're
killer
like,
documentary.
you're trying to get like an archetype of the perfect one.
You want a Stepford
No,
wife,
basically, he's
not
like,
like
he's
a
like, the
person.
look is
Weird.
good. I'm just trying to find the personality.
yeah,
Like he's like, all right, no.
or one who can put up with him. 'cause
Yeah,
they-
exactly. Yeah.
Anywho, enough about him. Jax, when was your first time coming?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I was like a very what my family considered bad kid.
You had sex a lot, huh?
No, I would just hump everything. Like I continuously humped everything. I have a memory. I might have been getting molested. I don't even know.
No.
It's like one of those weird memories that you're like, I don't remember why I was there or what was happening exactly, but it was in like a flower shop, and it was my parents' friend, and I was with their daughter who was my age, and she was like, yeah, like you do this, and she was like teaching me how to masturbate, but she was 5, so that means that
How old were you?
5.
Oh,
Is it really real though at 5?
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, someone also when I was 5.
You can come at 5?
Oh yeah,
No,
some
well,
people.
I don't know if I was coming.
Wendy
or-
Starling
4.
fabulously said
Or
on
3.
episode 1, toddlers have clits too.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I think I would stop doing it before it would happen because it was a lot. Like
Yeah.
it registered in my head as like pain almost.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? So I was like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like so I feel like I just did that for a really long time. But I would rub on corners of beds, couches, the what is that? The armrest on the couch.
Oh yeah.
5?
Yeah, I'd go underneath the bed and hide because they were like, "Don't touch your pee pee," and I was like, "I'm gonna do it," because I think I was doing it at school.
do it.
Just you say I'm
gonna do
it. The more you say it, the more I'm gonna do it,
girls,
Grandma.
they used to call
Girls
your thing a
hump.
pee-pee too?
Pee pee.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I thought you guys had your own word.
I
because
call mine a puffy.
I
puffy.
like it.
Puffy.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's like how Mike Tyson would say pussy.
Puffy. Yeah.
Puffy.
Give me a kiss
Puffy. Give me a kiss on my puppy.
on my puffy.
What is it?
Puffy.
Puffy.
But so when
shook
No, because that's I love the almost the beauty of the hypocrisy in comedy sometimes, because it's like we're literally making fun of a guy with a speech impediment. Like in any situation, that's just as bad
he's
as
a
calling.
massive man who's bitten ears off of
He's
people.
a
He can-
murderer.
Yeah, but
He
he's
can
got a
defend
he's
himself.
got a
Murderer with his
defend
speech
himself.
That's not an
impediment.
excuse. Violence is not the
Wait,
answer.
he
He's a
has
mental
murdered.
illness. It's a mental illness.
like
That's
talking
fine.
about sex.
All right,
That's what we're here.
Kirill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
Okay,
talking
wait.
about rubbing my 5-year-old genitals,
Yeah.
genitals on everything. I don't know. I did that, and then I got in trouble. I feel like I was like doing it other places, but now I'm realizing. So like I've been to therapy, and they say that that's like a child's first comfort technique is like touching themselves.
Well,
like,
it's a massively good thing
Yes.
for wellness.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
like to de-stress and stuff. Like it's a
Totally.
natural
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, it's like one of those things. Like my parents would fight all the time, and then like I feel like I was doing it as like a comfort thing because like when I was like locked in my room with no TV because I didn't have a TV at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I gonna do? I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
sitting, laying here. I'm fucking bored.
I got
Well,
nothing but this here giny.
Yeah, this is relaxing. You know what I mean? This is a relaxing thing now. My family is very conservative. Like my mom, we did. Sex was not a thing we spoke about.
Yeah.
It was my mom very strict. Like it was don't do it. Like they would tuck me into bed. So like they would tuck my body in and then put my arms on top of the blankets.
No way. And
I mean, like I can't move. I always got back in there.
Yeah,
okay? Plus my arms got cold, you know. But yeah, it was like one of those things. I felt so much shame with sex up until like my mid-20s.
I mean, also you mentioned you were molested at a pretty young age.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
I don't know if my dad had like boundary issues.
Yeah.
I'm still uncomfortable with calling it molestation because like I don't know, you know what I mean? But like he would like, you know, say inappropriate things to me in private that I was like, this is weird. You know what I mean?
You have that gut feeling. Of
Yeah.
things.
It's just a great way to refer to a rapist as a guy with boundary issues.
Boundary issues.
It's like, that guy's got boundary
Yeah,
issues.
but it wasn't.
Branding for
because
that.
it wasn't-
That
Yeah.
Bill Cosby with his
It
boundary
wasn't any
issues.
like
Yeah.
any like touching stuff like that. Like he was the type of person who would like just do it
Just
like
rub
in the
your
kitchen
leg.
and be like chub and like touch your butt, and then like it got to the
Oh, that's
point where
creepy.
like I was like, I don't want to kiss you on the lips, and I don't want you to
Yeah.
or, like touching my boobs. Like you can't
Yeah.
grab my boobs.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah,
Like,
that's definitely not
pretty
okay.
inappropriate.
but he would never.
Yeah.
It was never in a like a sexual like way. It was always in a like he would be laughing while he did it.
Yeah,
type
but in
of
his
way.
head it could be sexual.
But
You
that's
might
what I'm
have
saying. But
writing it
so
off.
that's one of those things where it's like once you tell them this behavior makes me uncomfortable, because some people really do grow up in families with no boundaries like that, and
Yeah.
I've seen it, and it's not creepy.
But once you say
Very
I'm
Yes.
uncomfortable, that's
Yes.
when it should say, "Oh shit, okay,
Yes.
we're so sorry. We didn't know your boundaries are different than ours."
Right.
And you step
Then
the
you
fuck
stop.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But when it
usually
didn't
as a
stop-
kid, it's the parent.
Your parents should know better.
Well, no, your parents kind of are like, don't treat you as a real person,
Mm-hmm.
right? You would eat dinner, be like, my parents would be like, all right, all the kids go to the basement, like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had no voice growing up. So when you say, hey, I'm uncomfortable as a child, most parents would be like, dude, like, they don't take, like, an abusive parent probably won't be like, oh, thanks for your input. Like,
Would you ever say anything to your mom about it? Or
I
or
did.
other
Well, I
pe- yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And I like even things where he would just like walk into my room while I was changing. And when I see that he's doing it with my stepsister also, like she's 14 now, and last year we got in a huge fight in Florida because he wouldn't stop kissing her on the lips, and it was making her uncomfortable, and she had voiced it, and she even said something to me like, if you're gonna come to me privately, and she's like, don't say anything, because like he threatens her,
Right.
and he intimidates her. He's a very scary person,
and you feel in danger.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like he has like, even when I was a kid, he had the type of temper where he'd put our lives in danger, like in the car driving on the wrong side of the road on the highway with cars coming towards us,
this
because
guy
he's
biological or step?
this is my biological
Okay.
father, and my brother's a lot like him too in terms of like the temper and like irrational.
It's really scary.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
actually scary, and he total narcissist, like, you know, and he always just kind of was like, I'm the man in charge, like
Yeah.
very like authoritative. So we always just thought it was control issues, but who the fuck even knows?
Yeah.
At this point, it's like I will keep on the safe side than the sorry side. I will
course.
look at it in a way where it's like he knows what he's doing, and not oh well, maybe he just is, this is like a byproduct of the type of person he is, like,
Right.
Yeah, you first and foremost like have to protect yourself.
yeah, and my sister,
Definitely.
like, and that's
But it's
the thing.
also a hard thing to look
Yeah.
at, like a biological father, and be like, they don't want the best for me.
Impossible.
So it's
Like,
kind of
so
like
hard
you make
to
more
not
excuses
explain
for
it.
family, and especially his spouse might want to believe you all she wants, but she's like, I sleep in bed with this guy.
Yeah.
I want.
This is on me if I have such a
Yeah,
bad
so
you
there's
start
it's a lot
questioning
of
yourself.
you
I
start
mean-
kind of being like, all right, maybe they're exaggerating. You know,
Yeah.
kids will be you know,
Yeah.
like, and that's where a lot of it goes unchecked.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I hope she goes to college because she's 14 now. She's a few more years, so
But at least she has somebody that that she could open up to. Like
Yeah.
you had to
Yeah.
keep it all bottled up and stuff, and I'm sure it like took a toll on you mentally.
I think it did. I think a lot of it didn't process till I got older, because even just with abuse and trauma in general, like I had a very traumatic childhood, a very sad childhood. So a lot of that I feel like my brain suppressed so I can survive, just,
Yeah.
you know, go to work, live every day. So it's like my brain suppressed it. But as I get older and as I become, I think, a more comfortable in my skin type person,
Yeah.
now certain things are kind of registering in my head, because I feel like I'm finally ready and capable
Yeah.
to process and deal with certain things like
Yeah.
I wasn't before.
Are you realizing certain things that you, as a child, where you were like just overlooked, and now you look back, you're like, oh shit, that was really fucked up.
Yeah, tons. Like
It's kind of like watching The Simpsons
Yeah.
now, right? Where
Yeah,
you were like,
it's
oh shit, look at
interesting.
all those jokes I missed as a kid.
It reminds me less of The Simpsons than it reminds me of. I just watched the Leaving Neverland documentary about Michael Jackson
Oh my
assaulting
god.
his
Yeah, fully.
children, and it's so crazy that like. I mean, not crazy, but it just reminds me like what Jax is saying about like, oh, I'm realizing stuff is like maybe
Yeah.
abuse now. Like you don't know shit when you're younger. Like you
Definitely.
only know what
Yeah.
adults tell you. Like Michael Jackson was telling them, oh, if we're French kissing and you're sucking on my nipples, and like it's horrifying.
Like, this is
stuff.
love.
This is love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like they think, oh, well, he helped me in my career. Or, like this person's my dad. Like I don't want to think that this person who's helped me so much and so intertwined with my life like would want to hurt me, but like
Yeah, and
people do.
they're in their 40s now. Like,
Yeah, and they're just coming to terms with it.
yeah, and like the guy Wade, was
Robson.
saying how he didn't even think about it really until Jimmy did.
Until Jimmy came out with his testimony. Yeah. And like a lot of people are like, well, why did they testify against or for Michael Jackson so many times? It's like
They were children.
they were kids. Yeah. And they like,
How much shit do we all believe that our parents tell us,
but
let alone
also
something
like,
so
wouldn't you
huge?
be so embarrassed?
Yeah,
like-
of course, especially for men.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to come forward.
Yeah. And they felt like family. Like you
Yeah.
don't want to embarrass your family or bite the hand that feeds. And like, it's just really scary
Totally.
really scary and tough for people who are going through any type of abuse as children, if it's sexual, if it's physical, emotional. So we looked into some charities for kids who are going through stuff now. Shar.
Yeah, a lot of people know RAIN, which is great. It's
Spelled
RAINN. It's the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization, but there are also a lot of other great ones. Like the Safe Alliance, the Women's and Children's Alliance, the Sexual Assault Center, so many more that are doing really amazing work. And if you do have any questions about a charity or want to donate to one, work with one, you can use charitynavigator.org. That way you can make sure a nonprofit is actually like legitimate and trusted rather than sketchy and putting money back where they shouldn't.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of like, Surviving R. Kelly. Yeah. They both just reopened like a critical national conversation about child sex abuse.
Totally.
It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, you should donate.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
Donate and volunteer.
Speak up because this shit happens and you're not
this
alone.
Shit happens and you're not alone and it sucks, but you can help other people.
Yeah,
by
definitely.
speaking out. Also, if you're one of those people who are like, I love MJ, there's no chance he did it. Like, he did it.
There's no point.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did it. He did it. Try to watch the documentary. Just try.
I fucking love his music and he did it. You know what?
Love
he did
him.
it.
Yeah, and he did it. I don't love him anymore, but he did it.
You gotta admit that. And you know what? My biggest thing is there's no harm in being fucking supportive to people who have just gone through a hard time.
Literally.
Plus, he's dead.
And also
support the living ones.
Right. And they're
Jesus.
like, these two men are liars. Why would anyone want to lie about that?
Totally.
And if you think it's
so
a money
hard.
thing, they can't get any money out of it. It's a moot point. They're doing it now because they're trying to raise awareness about this shit.
Well, it's interesting how like, intertwined how we feel about other people is just because of our own self-esteem. And so you were saying you get older, you're more comfortable with yourself. So you look back on that like, I shouldn't have been okay with this or whatever that is.
Right.
And it's cool to see like probably for you just how much you've grown since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was pretty much called worthless every day growing up by my mom. And also my father, he really wasn't around, but when he was, it was like, you are an annoyance in my way. Like it was that type of thing. So I had no self-worth at all until I'm going to be 30. So like I'm 30. So like until 30, I had none. And honestly, like Kirill, like I'll bring it back to like your parties and stuff, like things like that. So I was a woman who had no control of my life. I was always abused and controlled and told what to do. And then going to something crazy like that made me feel like I am in control of this and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
And which is why I kind of get where these girls' thought processes are coming from. It might be harder for someone who doesn't come from that thought process to understand, but it's like, yes, this can be helpful.
I was going to say that's kind of like you started did you start stripping before his parties or was that like
About
kind of the same time?
Well, actually maybe a little bit before. No, before.
And was that to kind of take your power back or like because you had no other options?
So
How about the money?
This is another episode for another day, but I'll give you the very short of it. I had this controlling boyfriend, right? I worked for him first. He had an e-commerce company and he convinced me to drop out of graphic design college and work for him full time. He was paying me pretty well. So I was like, yes. So at this time we're not dating. And then about a year later we started to date and he controlled my life. Like he controlled it completely. Like he would not let me out with my friends. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I just was living for him. So yeah, so basically you know the whole Fyre Festival thing, right?
Oh yeah, my friend produced that the Netflix doc.
Okay. So this guy is exactly like Billy McFarland with the fake companies and the scams and fucking his friends over. Me, like, he charged up my credit cards. He ruined his friend's life. I shouldn't even be talking about this probably, but I don't really fucking care. Like, he did wire fraud, all this crazy shit. He tried to scam me with another music festival saying that it's in Area 51 and they're gonna shoot Lady Gaga into space and she's gonna perform. So whatever. So he fucked up my finances. He held my portfolio hostage for 4 years of work. Like, that's crazy. I won awards for an app we designed, which was a person-to-person small loan app similar to Venmo, and this was 2008, called Payback. Yeah, I designed a fucking app. He took everything, like literally took everything that I worked for, took credit for all products I designed for his company. Like, he destroyed me financially. So when I came to New York, I couldn't get jobs. I couldn't get work. I had no portfolio, no proof I did anything. I was just like, yeah, I am 22 years old and I did this and I designed an app, and they're all looking at me like, you look like you're 16. You have pink hair. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, this bitch is fucking lying. She's crazy. So that's what I dealt with. And I had bills. So I was like, fuck this. I went on Craigslist. I found a cocktail waitressing job in a strip club. And I made nothing. And then I saw this girl. So it was like a 2-level strip club. And I saw this girl. She was twerking in the fucking middle. Like, there was like a foyer section. And she was twerking on the ground. And someone poured a bucket of money on her. Bucket. And then another bucket came. And then another bucket. And this bitch is twerking in a sea of money. I was like, I want to be that girl.
Yeah.
And I did. The next day, I fucking started dancing and I started making money. And I felt like I took back my life. Like, there's no one telling me what to do. I have financial freedom now. And I felt free.
That guy's going to jail one day.
Well, it's interesting.
Hell yeah.
I feel like this is like all of these documentaries, American Meme, Fyre Festival documentaries. It's all this big, like, look, social media isn't fucking real.
It's a facade.
It's a whole facade. There are some people who are very, very good at it. But like we were saying, Fuck Jerry is a huge marketing company. They were a huge meme account. They were hired to do the Fyre Festival. They produced the Netflix documentary with my friend, like, because they didn't even realize that he didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when someone's cutting you a giant check, I don't fact check anything. Someone's like, yo, you want $100,000 to tell people that you're going to go to this festival and then you get to go for free?
Yeah.
What am I going to ask to see your books? I'll be like, whatever.
Right?
The check
Like,
cleared, I'm there.
Exactly.
Like, and the wrong people got blamed for that.
Totally.
Like, they're like, oh, like Kendall Jenner, like she should have been, like, I'm not responsible.
Right.
Like, if you get fucking cancer from Biore, are you going to sue Jennifer Aniston for being in the commercial? Like,
as long as she writes sponsored, it should be
like, you shouldn't even have to write sponsored. If you're dumb
don't
enough
think
to,
so?
it's 2019. If you can't tell the difference between
Who
a
makes
promo,
it?
But most
like,
people
But
can't.
they
did a whole
can't.
study
yeah, but
on
then
it.
like, dude, natural
People
selection.
are very easily tricked.
I know,
But
and
you
that's
know,
You think
crazy.
it's Darwinism?
It's been that
I think
way.
it has to. Like, dude,
Right.
you
Yeah.
have to know.
I'm
Yeah.
more
Like,
interested in the poster than the people receiving it sometimes. Like you're saying with Fyre and all that. Like Billy McFarland, right? Like, what was his end game almost? Like,
oh
just
no,
trying
it's
to
the
build,
end game
like,
is you're constantly like, I'll just deal with that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll deal with the next thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll work itself out. Like,
Yeah.
it's those people that are just like,
Did
let's
you
just
feel
keep.
anxious
I know a lot of
when
people
you were
like that.
posting like in the height of the parties? Like, were you nervous? All like,
I mean,
to have to
American
be
Meme makes
partying
it
and
look
have
like
to-
you're fucking depressed.
Yeah,
from it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the analogy is like, here's the problem, right? In the same way that you have to write hashtag ad for the general population because they might not comprehend it, like, it's the same way where I say I want to kill myself, right? In the same way that when you're hungry, you say you're starving. Like, we've all been in a situation where like, oh my God, I just want to be dead.
Yeah.
Especially when you're hungover, or you have to get on a plane, or you got to go to someone's house that you don't want. Like, you made plans, you're in bed, you're like, fucking kill me. That's
Nanny wants to hang out.
you know what I mean?
Kill myself.
Exactly. Like, you just say that shit, and whatever it was edited to make it look like it. My inbox, it literally, like, I posted today. It went from ass tits to I can't wait to party with you to the Kirill like suicide watch. Like, people email me. I can read emails. I had a text yesterday from a girl at midnight who's like, I've met you in your 20s and I'm just like looking out for you. I just watched a documentary. I'm like, okay, like, that's very nice. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's nice
That's
to
really
have.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's cool. It beats hate mail, even though hate mail is hilarious. But you kind of see that like people still kind of like believe everything that's put in front of them. like without
Right.
realizing like that's a
Right.
like
That was
that's
a
product.
Yeah.
That's like, do you know what's honest? The documentaries we watched when we were in 5th grade, when they were boring, and we fell asleep,
Right.
Because you were like, this is the real life. This is horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why are the documentaries so
There
good
are
these
no
days?
bells and whistles.
Because they're fucking movies still.
Right.
Like,
That one, like American Mean, made me cry, but also feel much better because I was like, oh my God, just to know that they're so tortured about how many likes they get a day, that makes me feel better.
and it's
but it's
and it's also like I freak out about it in the same way that I'm also like, why do I even care?
Have you
Like,
found like a healthier way to deal with it?
no. With social media, but to me, it's just in the same way that you do stand up or no?
No.
You do, right?
I
You guys
do,
do.
yeah.
It's your stage. This is my little corner of the internet. It's my little area where I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, and that's it. And there's no real pressure. And I've always said that, like, if it flops, cool, I'll delete it. If it kills, great. But there's no real damage that can be done to my brand or anyone's brand. Like, we all know, like, if you make a shitty joke, cool, gone, goodbye. It's the internet.
Yeah.
People forgot about it.
yeah.
But that's why I'm always like, dude, I'll
On to the next.
post a lot
Yeah.
because I'm like, this is what I'm feeling. I want to get this out there. I don't care if 1,000 people hate it. 3 people like it. That's 3 new fans. That's 3 new people that care about like
That's a good way to
continuing
think
the
about it.
relationship.
I feel the same.
Like I love losing followers, and I
You
know that
do?
sounds douchey from a guy that's built a lot, but like. I love it because it's like it's getting rid of the fat.
It's
Like,
gonna
I don't need you
it's
there.
the people that are
don't
going to
need-
support the most
Yeah.
stuff.
But at the same
it's
time,
more quality than quantity now.
yes, it is. It's all about
So
quality.
I guess
It is.
that's the pendulum's going the other way.
Right,
But my thing
right,
with
right.
social too is like I feel like ever since like the news feed, like in Facebook, we've been very like performative and
Yeah.
like kind of like making ourselves like not just you. Everybody has a social media persona.
Well, you have to.
But do like I have so many friends that I'm like, oh, I forget that I like her in person because I hate her social media persona.
Yes.
Well, because the template for social media success is like, if it works, keep doing it, right? Like when you see Dan Bilzerian's post, it's guns, cars, tits. Guns, cars, tits. He posts something out of the blue. You're like, I don't care about that. It's like all of a sudden you turn on Comedy Central and they're playing drama. You're like, get the shit out of here. I
Yeah.
want only comedy. So they look at you as like, they put you in a box. You're one dimensional. Like, I want only that from you, and I don't want to see anything else. It's the same way where like John Legend can post all his beautiful photos and all this shit, and then he makes one political post and people are like, shut up and sing.
Yeah.
People are lazy. The brain is lazy sometimes, and you want to be able, like literally, psychologically, you just say, "Oh, I get it," and you
Yep.
don't really. Your brain doesn't care to understand the nuance. And like you were saying, those documentaries were boring as shit because
Yeah.
that's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People want to make them shiny and
You wanna
easy to
sensationalize
understand.
it.
Yeah. I think also with online dating, I noticed like you're vetting these profiles, but they're very curated profiles. I've even said like when I have done dating apps, like it would be curated towards the dating app. So on Raya, you're like very like sexy and cool. On Bumble, you're like, I'm a homegirl. You know, on Hinge, you're more professional. Like, and then the person on the other end, or even you, are vetting a version of that person that doesn't even really exist.
Yeah. Well, how many people have you met that are completely opposite from the social media?
Totally.
We're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this person's so cute and witty, and like this girl
Yeah.
has the best Bumble profile.
Yeah.
So silly. And then you just fucking talk
Can't
to them.
say
and you're
shit
like,
in
and you're
person.
like, because I still believe that dating apps killed conversation. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, like if I wanted to fuck you, I'd have to hit on you at a bar and actually talk to you. And if I couldn't talk to you, I wouldn't get laid. And now it's become like this like buffet, like no, yes, swipe. Like you're giving power to these guys that have developed no social skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then-
But you still have to get to the date.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you wonder.
And you can still say no on the date.
Yes, but you
Yeah.
can. But the thing is, it inflates their egos so much that because they're like, now I get to choose from the
Pick of the
bounty.
litter.
Yeah.
and it's like they've learned no skills.
I get
and then,
to reject
and
people
then,
from my toilet.
and then when they don't get laid, they freak out because they don't know how to handle it, and they call a girl a whore, a bitch, whatever,
Yeah.
because they've never had a conversation outside of an app, and they've never faced rejection because the app is all about acceptance, right? You're swiping to, and when you match, it's hooray. It's not about like, oh, this girl hates you, this girl hates you, this
There
girl
should
hates
be
you.
that.
It's all like
Oh
it's
my
all an ego
God.
stroke. It's all
that. This
yeah,
girl
it should
hates
be
you,
how
this
many
girl hates
people
you.
said no to you, so the other girls could be like, all right, this guy must be a creep.
Yeah.
Like, but like it's the dating side of an app for a guy is all about I'm the man. Look how many girls want to fuck me.
Yeah.
And that just inflates their ego, and it creates this whole like, that's why guys freak out about a Me Too movement, because they're like, oh my God, like they're tackling my masculinity, but like I'm just, I've been programmed to, I get the pick of the litter.
Right.
Did Slut Whisperer change your relationships in any way?
With
women?
With intimate women or just women in period?
I mean,
Intimate girlfriends.
I mean, I've
Having them,
never. What happens on Slut Whisperers, like I said, is always an extension of me. Like I've never, like I'll turn it up, but I've never been disrespectful to any women in my life. Like, I was raised by all women, like my mom, my grandma, my aunts, and everything. But like, it's never really altered my view.
Oh, I mean, like how maybe they view you, and like because like apps are a lie. Like you're saying, they might think they know you, but
every girl. Well,
like these girls might be like, he's a dick, and you're like, I'm kind of nice.
So that's the fucked up. That's where it kind of like, why if I've had any success with women is because it's like, oh, he's an asshole. All right, fine, I'll hang out. And then they're like, oh, he's actually just a normal person, and the guard goes down quick, and that's why every one night stand pretty much I've had has been a 3-year relationship.
Really?
Because I'm that kind of guy where like I'll meet a girl I like, we'll fuck, and then I'm like, oh, I really fuck with her. She's already like, oh, he's a nice guy. Like, he's crazy. And it's one of those things where like, oh, but he's just nice to me. Or like, he's just like, I found him, or like, I'm changing him. And I've literally maybe had 6 girlfriends my entire life.
They think they're changing you, but really you're just revealing yourself to them. And they're like, oh, I like this little version. Inside the onion.
Exactly.
At the heart of the onion.
That's great. That's like the perfect type of person for a woman who likes a fixer-upper.
Because
he's already...
Oh my God, this guy's so nice. Holy shit, he's an abusive piece of shit.
Totally.
And how many of those,
Yeah. I was always saying, I mean, I fucked my boyfriend for a year before we started dating. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, you just like got to know my personality and that's why you like me? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, ew.
Ew.
You're such a loser. You're such a loser. Ew.
Yeah, you kind of go like, any girl that fucks me, you're like, what is wrong with you? Like, now I need to start like, like that.
I don't want to be part of a club that would accept
me as one of their members.
Exactly.
Is that which Marx brother?
Groucho.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's one of my favorite quotes.
It's a great quote.
That's how I relate to my people. Are like, oh my God. Like, and I'm like, I'm appreciative of all the people that come to the parties, all the fans, all the people that buy the merch, but it's like, I kind of don't want to be a member of any club that would have me as a member.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you something that Haley Baldwin said. What if you woke up tomorrow and you were a nobody, you had no followers, none of that? Could you go back to being yourself?
Yeah, I am a nobody. Like, there's no, like when people are like, oh my God, you're insta famous. I'm like, you're a loser for even thinking that. Like emails from people like, Kirill, you're like my hero. I'm like,
but if that was gone, if the Instagram
gone.
Posts were gone,
Dude,
if
I'll go
no
right
one
back
could
and
tell you,
I would love to go
photos.
take photos.
Yeah.
I would love to. I have so many things I would love to do.
Yeah.
That
I mean, you're very good at taking photos.
It's gonna be. Yes, everything is an adjustment, right?
Yeah.
Any shitty relationship you get out of, there's things you miss and things you don't miss, and blah blah blah. But like, I don't know. I think as a quote unquote creative person, you just find the next thing. Like,
I don't worry about
yeah,
you.
don't.
There's
I'm just a nice Jewish boy. So
Yeah.
a nice Jewish boy.
we bounce back.
A mensch. There's a couple that got tattoos,
Oh God.
Slut Whisperer on their butts. Do you think they're still together?
Absolutely not. Dude, they met. I don't know what I've only seen part of the documentary. They were together for 2 weeks when that happened.
Oh God.
It's
And they
insane.
got
And they're
Slut Whisperer put on
20
their ass.
and 21.
Yeah. That's
hilarious.
I need to know if they're still together.
Look, I can judge them all I want, but I have Outback Steakhouse tattooed on my arm. So it's like, okay, like, it's sad that I'm their Outback Steakhouse, but cool, I guess.
You're their bloomin' onion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should end by giving people some positive tips for how you use social media and how to
I've
make
none.
it better. Well, we have some.
Okay, let's go.
Looking at other people's stuff, not so great for you. But looking at your own stuff can actually
Boost your
be
self-esteem.
nice because then you remember certain things that you did. You go back in time. Look how far I've come.
We all have a negative bias. We remember the bad shit.
Do you have things that you look at that do because I do have some accounts
That
are
inspire me.
inspired.
I love If You High.
Yes, you should follow ones that
I
inspire
don't
you.
like-
Find
I
ones
don't-
that inspire you. Unfollow things that don't
make you feel
inspire,
bad.
that make you feel bad. Mute people that make you feel bad. If you
Mute.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
Just
mute people.
unfollow them. Like I don't want to fucking. I don't play that
no,
game.
because sometimes people
Unfollow.
I
if
agree
you
though.
can.
I unfollow. I'm
Yeah,
so
like-
mean.
like, I don't
care,
want- I don't
yes.
want-
I will
yeah.
delete.
I see.
don't
On my
delete.
for my brain, I'll be like, oh my god, what if they know I unfollowed them? And
Do you know
then
how much of a
But
loser
who
that makes them
cares?
if they're
Yeah.
tracking
Who cares?
that?
Like,
Like if
right,
I've had someone
right,
text me
right.
like, I can't believe you unfollowed me. I'm like,
It's
I
like,
can't
why are you
believe you
checking?
sent this text
I've
message.
been that person. Oh my god, I'm the worst. Okay,
Remy.
But we're helping you. We're helping
Remy.
you.
you're helping me. You're helping
So-
me. Yeah.
Look, I like the guys like Gary V. I think they're not hurting anyone, but their Gary
he's
V
good.
army is like almost as bad as like like all the like it's just the dick riding of like these
I have
dudes
no
that
idea
post
what
these spiritual messages. Like Gary V said this, and you're like, let Gary V talk. Like I don't need you to repopulate this all over the
Yeah.
internet.
Just purge. It's
I like
like
food
you don't want to be an
accounts.
online hoarder.
Oh, food accounts are so
Great.
good for the soul.
So uplifting.
But also sometimes very
Animals?
detrimental to me because then I'm hungry
Oh,
all the
no.
time.
Yeah, and I'm
It's
like,
like
and
4
I
in the
want
morning,
something
I'm like, damn, I'm
exotic.
hungry again.
It's the only time I eat. I eat like once a day at like 4 a.m. and I just binge eat and then I go to sleep.
Oh, I'm like an every 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
need
I'm a
to, or I'm
snacker.
Me too.
I love snacks.
You're a grazer like me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a
Pick
grazer's
chips.
body.
I always say if you
cow.
stand
Basically,
while
I'm a
you're
cow.
eating, it doesn't count.
If you stand,
You're
while
right.
you're
Yeah.
eating-
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Don't
if you
count.
sit or lay down, same.
Doesn't
Same
count.
thing.
Doesn't count.
If you
Oh,
take
I
it off
tend to
someone
eat
else's
most of my
plate.
meals laying down.
Me too.
Yeah. So you're so
That's
thin.
fine. Right?
We're all
Yeah.
very thin.
We're
I
all
feel like
very
your body
thin.
needs to work harder to push it through because you're horizontal, so you're actually burning more calories.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
also a higher chance of choking and dying. It's kind of like it's a win-win, really.
Yeah.
We are all very high. We all.
Other things you can do, you can set limits on your social media use.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's like that crazy of an addiction? Like
I
when
really
people
do.
put-
I know
some.
for a fact. There's
100%.
like some people.
Well, what's wrong? There's
you
some
put
good
your
addictions.
wait. You put your phone on grayscale because the little red dot that pops up when you get a notification on Facebook does a serotonin rush, so you're like addicted to it. If you put it in grayscale, it makes it a little less of the
I turned mine off.
Instagram is the one that makes you most depressed, apparently, because it's showing you most people who are not like you.
But you know what makes Instagram depressing is Instagram themselves.
Yeah.
Because when they start
Yeah.
fucking with your algorithms and start fucking with the timeline,
Yeah.
that fucks with your self-esteem
Yes.
more so
Yes.
than
Yes.
because it's not like it's one thing if I put my shit out there and a lot of people hate it, I'll be like, at least I put myself out
Yes.
there. But if I'm putting myself out there and you're not showing it to anyone,
That's unkind.
That's
unfair.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
unfair. Literally,
Like-
I said it to Charlotte today. She goes, "Look, it's 2019. I got 62 likes on a post, and I was like, it's not you. It's the fucking
It's
algorithm."
the algorithm,
And it's
and that's
dude,
what I've been trying
so
to like tell people. Like,
it's-
they don't get it.
because why is it that way?
Because they want people to post more,
Because
feel
we're
worse.
when you're not being sold something, you're the one being sold. If you don't have a
Right,
product in
right,
front
right,
of you,
right.
you're the product. Because it's ads and whatever. Like when they data, they're collecting data. That's all it is, right? Like Facebook, they're like, oh, it's free. Like, oh my god, like you're the product. You're what they're selling to brands. This is my tinfoil
Interesting.
theories, but like.
No, I
It's
get
true.
it. And like
It's
I'm,
true.
I'm
But the
private.
algorithm
I don't
is
have a
fucking,
big following,
the
so
algor-
they're not really.
Dude, when you sell merch, do you know that like if you put link in bio as a caption,
It makes it go away.
throttles it?
Yeah.
Because they're like, we don't want you leaving Instagram.
I know. I
Yes.
always spell it in a weird way. I'm like
Lincoln.
Link-
No,
Link-
Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln.
Just
Yeah.
Lincoln bio.
Bio,
That's
yes.
the new way. But I'm
They're-
like,
they're
my
catching
followers
on.
are too stupid.
They're gonna catch
and they'll
on.
literally be like, what does Lincoln bio mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're so dumb.
dude,
Another Marx once said, religion is the opiate of the masses. So the same way that Instagram followers, the dumbest of them are just following anyone because they're like, this is so much easier than making my own thoughts and just curating what I like and what's cool or whatever. I'll just follow somebody else. Same thing.
Social media is the new religion.
Same. Social media, politics, anyone who just wants to put their brain on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho.
You're like,
Yeah, we are done. Charlotte, did you have anything else that you
I
needed?
feel like we covered a lot of
a
topics.
lot of topics.
Guys, I can't wait to eat. Oh my
I
god.
know. I also
so
want
hungry.
Eat so much. Can we get food, please?
to.
Yes. I just have to ask you, as a host of a sexual experience, which this has been, and I'm a courteous host. Kirill, did you finish?
yes,
Yes.
several times.
Amazing.
Good.
Jax, did you finish?
Once or twice.
Yeah, that's kind of.
amazing. Charlotte, did you finish?
Did
Well-
I should probably ask for permission
Oh, sure.
for me to finish. I
Oh my
mean,
gosh.
in this
Oh my God,
day and
consent?
age.
No, we brought you into this.
We brought
sexy
you in.
time.
Oh, okay.
By
I don't
all
wanna-
We're
means.
invited
no.
to this sex party.
Yeah.
You can finish wherever you want. Now I'm finished. I was concerned because he looked concerned, but now I'm finished. Are you finished?
Almost. Jax, will you tell our listeners where they can find you on the internet?
Yes. So before I say that, I just want to say that there's a comedy festival coming called the Bad Bitch Revolution Comedy Fest.
Yes.
I can't wait to have you, by the way. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be at the Creek in the Cave. You guys can find the website. It's Bad Bitch. It's BTCH revolutionfest.com. So bad BTCH revolutionfest.com. You can find all the info there.
Jax, where can they find you on the internet?
Funny Girl Jax all across the board.
Okay, with an
You want to
X.
spell that?
It's Funny Girl.
Her publicist.
And then Jax, which is JA, and then the letter X, which is a very rare letter. Okay. Go ahead, Kirill.
Kirill,
Just go to my Instagram. That's where I post all my parties. Slut Whisperer. That's really the only place I'm at right now. Not on Twitter.
okay, cool.
Tumblr's gone. And then Assholes Live Forever for all the merch. But
Very
this was
cool.
fun.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
it?
you know.
This is cool.
I'd love to have you guys back. Maybe we can do, I'll put some extras on Patreon that we couldn't release to the public because,
Because Kirill has a potty mouth.
because Kirill has a potty mouth.
Dirty, dirty girl.
I know we talked about that we shouldn't care about likes and stuff, but you guys, please like us on iTunes.
should totally care
please.
about it.
Rate us, review, because we've got so many more listeners than likers. I never push the issue, but if one of you guys did it, if all of you did it, it would be sick. And then everybody else would get orgasms.
100%.
Is this
Remy,
on-
you're
is this-
yelling at
is this
people
i-
again,
is this
Remy.
on-
I'm sorry.
Is this iTunes? Is this on
It's on
iTunes?
iTunes. It's on Spotify.
Dude, you have to leave a comment on
have
iTunes.
to
You
leave a
have to
comment.
leave
Yeah.
a
Please
review.
leave a comment.
To leave a 5-star review and leave a comment because that drives the podcast way higher than listening on SoundCloud. You want to be on iTunes.
And then more
Yeah,
people
yeah.
So if
can
you're
have
on
orgasms, more people
Exactly.
know about it.
Yeah.
So leave a comment.
leave a comment.
Yeah.
Please.
Unless you don't want people to come, and like, what kind of asshole are you?
Yeah.
Right?
What are you,
Fucking
religious?
asshole.
Right? Like,
Hey.
hey.
What are you, the Pope?
This has been Kirill for Religion.
Yeah.
You guys, this has been so much fun.
Did you
Thank-
finish?
Oh, yes, I finished.
Okay,
now.
Remy, most importantly.
Great
Yeah, I was going
teamwork.
to say that was very underwhelming, but then you finished.
Wonderful
Is that how you come?
communication.
No, I
That's how you
actually,
come?
we want to hear something funny?
Yes.
This is for the end of the episode.
Okay,
for
funny.
everybody who's waited it out. The other day I was fucking. And instead of saying,
You don't
yeah,
say.
that's great, I go, oh, that's sick. And I think I ruined
Dude,
my
you're
boyfriend's
just
boners
like my
for
girlfriend.
life. Really?
Last night after we fucked, she's the worst of like, killing the mood. Like, she'll go to the bathroom and fuck, and she's like, "Oh man, I am queefing like a mofo." I'm like, dude, like I still have your juices. All, like, stop.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
She sounds cool.
Yeah.
I like her.
Ben was like,
so funny.
it's literally like you're like, oh, bro, that feels tight.
Success, bro.
Yeah.
Meet you here
Wait,
tomorrow.
have you ever high fived after sex?
I do. For
Oh,
love.
yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
But
All
I
right.
think that's love.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
that
something
is
you
true.
can't high five
That's
just a
teamwork.
stranger.
That's
Killed
teamwork.
it,
That's
champ.
like we did this.
All
Let's
right.
eat.
Good hustle.
Thank you guys for coming. Let's do a big group high five.
Yeah.
High five.
So white. That
So
was the
bad.
whitest
We
thing.
missed.
And we'll
Okay.
see you next time on How Come.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Theme song.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz